Hello, everybody,
Good morning.
and
Good evening.
afternoon in Europe or
Good
evening.
and welcome.
Yes. So we thought that some of the people watching this video might be in a giving spirit, and so I wanted to let you know that there's a children's refugee center near us in the San Fernando Valley, and they are doing a toy drive for the children that they're serving. And so I'm going to put the information in the text, and if you feel like you'd like to help support them, then it's a really easy way. You just click on the link and it takes you to Amazon, and you can place the order and you put in the address to send it to. And a lot of these children have been held in detention at the border, and they're helping them seek asylum. So I just heard about this from a neighbor, so I thought I would share it for anybody who wants to join in the giving. And so in terms of the vlog this week, one of the topics that comes up so often with the people that we work with, and even with Angus and myself, is when we see how easy it is to take our partner's low mood behavior personally. And, for Angus and myself, oftentimes I won't even know or realize that I'm in a low mood. I'm just thinking I'm being myself, normal. And Angus will notice it because he'll realize that I'm actually being kind of critical or controlling, but I'll be completely oblivious about it. And sometimes you take that personally.
Sometimes I do, but I'm getting better and better at not doing that. I know that when I notice that you're getting critical and controlling, that now is an indicator for me that you're probably in a low mood, and that I should perhaps disengage or take my hands off my own controls in terms of taking that personally. Sorry, the dog is starting to muck around, the table is starting to wobble, and I'm getting distracted. He hasn't had his morning walk yet. But anyway, moving swiftly on, that for me is been a very big change in our relationship. I think in the past, I would have been taken unawares by your low mood and your critical and controlling behavior, and just really reacted to that. And we would have got into a state of turmoil, shall we say, pretty quickly. But now I'm so much better equipped to see that that's just you in a low mood state, that you're feeling insecure, albeit probably about my behavior. It's sparking something off in you, but that's just for you in that moment. I don't really have to take that personally, but more importantly, actually, what I'm finding now is I actually get quicker to the point of compassion with it. I see that you're suffering, and that allows me to move to a whole other mindset that actually hopefully will be helpful in the process of us both stabilizing.
That's right. And I think that if we look at our relationship and the couples that we work with, it's usually familiar themes that are revisited. Like, I can see that when I start to get anxious or caught up, I can see that my tendency is to generally run towards being critical and towards being judgmental. And that would not be something that would just happen with Angus. I've had that reflected back to me with our children. So I can kind of see that. And that does help me get more aware of when that's going on. But for the person on the other side of that, when you start to recognize, like, oh, here's that behavior again, this has nothing to do with me. It has that is an indicator that my partner is not in a good state of mind. Now, to the degree that you see that and you don't take it personally, there's a real opportunity that there might be some genuine, authentic compassion that shows up in the moment when you really just see, oh, my partner's just feeling upset. My partner is, caught up. They're feeling anxious. They're feeling insecure. And when we see that, we naturally, the natural reaction when we recognize that is usually kindness, because we love them. But when we don't see that, when we think that we need to take what they're saying or doing seriously, we often will get reactive to it. And that's been the shift that Angus is talking about, where in the past he would have been more reactive, whereas now he kind of sees what's going on with some perspective and recognizes, oh, Rohini's just not herself right now. She's going to come back to her sanity at some point. How am I going to take cover in the meantime? What am I going to do to take care of myself? And oftentimes that can be done in really kind ways.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's a feature for me of this is that in the past, I would be moving along in life in my happy-go-lucky way, and I would do something. There would be some transgression that you would be upset by, and you would give me some feedback, which would have the air of control and criticism to it. And in the past, my mindset would have been, I was so happy before you said that. Don't mess with my well-being. And now, obviously, I realize that the only person that can mess with my own well-being is me through my patterns of my own thinking. So that is also a very important feature of this understanding, is just to realize it's all through our own generated thought that we corrupt and contaminate our well-being. But I would always make you responsible and make myself the victim in the process. And now with this understanding that, you know, that is something that I do to myself, it's nothing to do with you, added to which I can see your own suffering, hopefully and ideally in that moment, then, you know, we're good to go more often than not. We're human, we'll have our moments, but it's so much better, that a million times better than it used to be.
Yeah, and what you're saying is that whenever it looks like our partner has ruined our mood with their behavior, that's an indicator to let you know that you're now in a low mood. And it's not
you
really,
join the party.
You join the party, and you don't need to, but it happens all the time.
Or the dance of death, as a client once said.
Yes, you're now in the dance of death. But it's not the end of the world. We're all human. That's going to happen. It's going to look that way to us. It's, you know, I'm going to get critical. Angus is going to take it personally. It's going to look like I ruined his happy-go-lucky morning. And then you bounce back. But the more you see this, the less of that dance you need to do, the less amount of time you stay there. And sometimes you don't even get into it anymore. And that's what we're noticing, is there's so many times where we don't even engage. We were doing a community night last night with Jen and Chip.
I know what you're going to say.
And Chip was talking about how before they came across the understanding that Sydney Banks shared, that they would get into these intense dynamics, and he referred to it as like the tango. They'd be in this tango, doing this tango, and then all of a sudden Jan stopped doing the tango with him, and then he found himself doing the tango by himself.
I wonder what our dance would be.
The cha-cha, I don't know.
Cha-cha. I'd be breakdancing on the floor.
So you know, we just hope that you can kind of just get a little bit more perspective on what low mood is, understand that it's temporary, understand that it's passing, understand that your partner's behavior when they're in that state of mind is not going to be bringing out the best in them. But if you can see it for what it is, there's oftentimes different choices available to you. And obviously, in order to see this, you probably need to see it for yourself first too. So to recognize how you're not yourself when you're feeling in a low mood, and how that doesn't bring out the best in you, but to see your innocence in that. It happens for all of us, and we all do the best that we can. And what I love about what I'm seeing more and more deeply in our relationship is the resilience that's there, and the relationship isn't broken. It doesn't get broken even when I make a mistake, when I'm not at my best, even if, you know, that happens for you, that there's the opportunity for bounce back. There's the opportunity for apology. Like even yesterday, I completely lost my temper with our eldest daughter, and in the moment felt very justified in it. And then, you know, 10 minutes later realized, wow, that was not cool. And so, you know, I called her up, I apologized. She said it's sincere. So I had to reassure her that I was being humble and that it was coming from humility. And, you know, we worked it out, and then we got back on track. So this is not about perfection. This is about a learning curve, and seeing that we can all learn and grow, and that in that learning, there's the opportunity for more inner freedom. There's the opportunity to feel more of the love that is who we all are, and to share that more with others. And that the bumps along the way are really just learning opportunities on our journey to seeing more of that for ourselves. They're not mistakes. They're not wrong. They're not bad. They're just part of that learning of how we wake up to more of who we are.
Yeah. And getting more adept at recognizing the peculiar and unorthodox dance moves of a low mood.
That's right. That's very funny. I see we've got some comments. Let's have a look here. Nick Mead likes grapes. That's good to know. And this did start off about being a toy drive, so I guess you could say it's a little bit about Santa. So if you want to be a Santa, please follow the link that I'm going to post. Hey, Rachel. And then Justina's saying this happened to her this morning. Oh, well, I hope that you're able to have some more perspective now, and both of you can get back into that harmony and reconnect. And hi, Tracy and Annette. All right, well, sending everybody love. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll post the information if you want to share your generosity with the toy drive. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.